Ah, yes, one more godly friend who bought a new phone and gave me to review. Samsung S10 Lite came out of nowhere, and people who were waiting for a Snapdragon Samsung flagship devices in many countries like India and others would be so happy to see this as an option under a more affordable category. But let's see what is exactly light here on the phone and what makes the phone so much cheaper as compared to more expensive flagships, even when this phone does come with a X flagship processor on it. Or if it's just light because it's light. Hey everyone, Mukul here with another phone review which people around me keep buying and I keep snatching it from them to review them. The Snapdragon 855 is a solid chipset and still outperforms many other chipsets in the similar segment. Especially that crappy Exynos Samsung generally pushes down our throat in countries like India on their flagship devices. In the box, you get the phone, a 25-watt fast charger, a USB-C to USB-C cable, and a USB-C earphones. So overall, a nice kit. A USB-C to USB cable would have been actually better, as that would have meant just to carry the cable and not the charger everywhere you go. But Samsung had other plans and you can't do anything about it, especially after you bought the phone. The charger also has this weird font scaling on it, which we mostly see on fake chargers in the market, so this is definitely one of the light parts of the phone. But I'm pretty sure that only 1 out of 1,000 apes are going to notice this out there. Why would apes buy the phone? The USB-C earphones are pretty basic, and for some odd reason, the one I got didn't work on its one side. Now I would have to go through the RMA process to get it replaced. Thanks Samsung. So the dead out of the box earphones is definitely one of the light part of the package here. I have no complaints with the overall finish of the Samsung S10 Lite. It looks good and feels good in the hand. The phone is pretty slim and lightweight, and the device felt more approachable as compared to the Note 9 in my hand. So don't hesitate asking the S10 Lite out. What the fuck? You can put the plastic body of the phone in one of its light features, but really if you are someone who always uses cases on their phones, then this isn't something to even think or bother upon. I mean, half of the phone is glass anyway, and the other half doesn't even matter much till you are actually taking B-rolls of the phone like this. The device comes with Android 10 and Samsung's new improved One UI 2.0 out of the box. Trying out the phone's most crucial feature, which is calling, the call quality was strong, but because of the punch hole design, the earpiece speaker was shifted right on the edge on the top. So for me, it took some getting used to, as I had to readjust the ear accordingly, as I am used to placing it right on the grill way below that on the Note 9. But this is just nitpicking. This screen doesn't curve on the edges, and thank goodness for that. This just means you won't be accidentally touching anything on the edges of the phone. Curve edges on touchscreen phones was one of the most innovative unwanted features on a handheld device. But you need something to market on the ever monotonous phone market, right? The center notch won't bother you much if you're not viewing videos with this full screen aspect ratio, but even if you do, the notch wouldn't be much of a distraction. The screen is beautiful and bright. I have no issues with recommending the screen of this phone. And that doesn't mean that you just go out and buy the screen of this phone. The massive 4500 mAh battery was another surprise of the phone, and certainly not a part of the light package here. I was pretty happy with the performance of the battery too, as it easily lasted a day and there was still ample juice left to stretch it to some part of the next day too. The speakers are on the bottom of the phone and are decently loud. I won't say they're gonna blow your mind or anything. Compared to my Note 9, they're at least 30 to 35% less than Note 9's peak volume. So pinning in the stock CPU cooler was extremely easy. There was a thermal paste already on the base of it, hence no extra paste was needed. So the one-sided firing speaker can be considered a light feature here, but not a huge loss considering the price of the phone. The on-screen fingerprint sensor behaves like any other Samsung phone. I couldn't remove the top protective layer as the phone wasn't mine, but I'm pretty sure the extra layer of security on Samsung phones make them the slowest fingerprint unlocking phones in the market. The face unlock was blazing fast. It kept surprising me with how good and fast it was. So I would recommend activating both the fingerprint and the face unlock feature on the phone. So the best part of this device under this price segment is that you get a last gen flagship Snapdragon in the phone, rather than Samsung's own Exynos processor, which isn't at par to a Snapdragon in recent years. But I'm calling it a last gen processor because the Snapdragon 865 phones are out now. Otherwise, I would still say that a Snapdragon 855 device has nothing wrong going on for it. The performance and everything was extremely snappy, and I just loved how smooth the phone behaved with most of its tasks. It's raining outside. Playing Call of Duty, which I suck at and won't prefer playing on the phone anyway, was also smooth. And just for these few seconds of shot, I had to download and install and log into the game, so yeah, you should see more of this. The charging speed was pretty good. The phone took somewhere around 30 minutes to charge from 60 to 100%. And obviously from 90 to 100 it took most of its time. The phone also supports Wi-Fi calling, and if you are not sure of what is that, check out my video on it in the description below. Another light part of the device is that they removed the extra Bixby button and by default set the power button on the right as Bixby, and that is quite the fish here. So by default, to switch off the phone you have to hold the volume down plus power button, which is a process which sucks heavily and will remind you of the good old rooting days, or use the icon on the notification panel to switch off the device. But you can also, thankfully, change the setting of that button to make it act as your default power button in the settings menu. Phew! The phone also offers a totally new array of cameras on it. There are 3 cameras on the back, as a primary camera, ultra-wide camera and a macro camera. And there's a camera on the front too. Overall, I was very impressed with the phone camera's capabilities. The phone definitely showed some signs of being a little light on the camera side, but I gotta say they performed really good at this price segment and I was pleasantly surprised. There were some shortcomings, such as the 4K video doesn't support any sort of video stabilization on it. But there's also a benefit that you can record 4K videos from the front camera of the phone. I actually had a lot of fun playing with the live focus video mode, and it actually worked great. And then having features like the capability of turning on the night mode even on the ultra wide lens and the front camera is a huge bonus. And trust me, just because of these little mods to the cameras, many of your pictures are going to look so much better. This video won't do much justice to the camera review, so a dedicated video on the camera will be up next on the channel soon, so do sub for that update. One UI has been really transformative for Samsung. Most of the things we do with Samsung phones now are smooth and lag-free as compared to the Samsung UI which was there on the phones 2-3 years back. The focus word mode feature is totally customizable, and for the weak people like me who are poor with their focus. There's also a game launcher here to boost the game performance, but I think a true mobile gamer would be able to explain it better than me. The ability to easily customize themes and the dark mode is true love. The battery stats UI is new, so I still kinda prefer the GSAM battery app to monitor my battery usage on the phone. Always on display is there on this phone too, like many other Samsung phones, and they are quite customizable too. The device care feature has a new UI and animation too, which looks sleek and sexy and is quite easy to use if you are someone with an OCD of optimizing your phone again and again like some users. Digital Wellbeing takes notes of all the time you have been spending on different kinds of apps on the phone. I also had fun translating my voice to text with the inbuilt translator, and it was pretty accurate in my tasting, and it worked with punctuations. If you're not aware, with Bixby comes Bixby Routines, which has been one of the most innovative features of Bixby on Samsung phones. Just customize any of these different commands, say it, and it will perform a set of those actions. A certain set of cool motion and gestures are also there on the device. They are pretty self-explanatory and makes any Samsung device really strong when it comes to these many customizations. Oh, I think now kids are enjoying in the rain. So despite all the light feature discussed so far, for the price of under 40,000 Indian rupees or around about $500 US, the price makes the phone a direct competitor of other OnePlus flagship devices. Except for having more hertz on the screen, the phone actually ticks almost all other boxes. Samsung has actually planned this well. You're actually not losing anything on the performance, and you're getting most of what Samsung offers in a more affordable range. Plus its security, which a lot of people dig. I am under the impression that many people are not considering the device, maybe because it has the word light associated with it, and generally a lot of users accept a light device to have a light performance, but that clearly isn't the case here. Will I recommend this device? For the price, hell yeah. And after some discounted offers we Indian buyers are right now getting, the device is a real steal. Do leave a like and sub for more relevant content in the future. That's all for this video. MewBot out. And now I'm gonna go outside and bath in the rain.